To celebrate the Borderlands crossover, which is now available in Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft have hosted an Easter egg hunt across all the maps. 3 Psycho Bandit masks have been hidden on every single map, one of them being outside and 2 being inside the building. In a previous video, I showed you 1 mask on every map, but in this one, I'm going to show you every single mask in the game. And a reminder, if you shoot 5 of these masks during this event period in a public game, you will earn yourself a free charm. But yeah, thank you to the effort of everyone who contributed to this. This has been a really fun community hunt, but let's take a look at all of the masks. So for house, you're going to find the first mask outside by the building getting construction in the distance. You want to come over here and there's going to be a cop car and you can get one of the masks just outside of the map itself past this barrier. Next one, or sorry, the next 2 actually are going to be inside the building itself. The first one is going to be in kid's bedroom, so we're going to head up to there. We'll do a little hop reach into the window. Let's do this. And if you come over to kid's bedroom, you can look at the foot of the bed. Under here, you'll find a mask just underneath the bed itself. And the final one is going to be in the garage basement. So we're going to head down here. We're going to make our way around this corner into the garage itself. And we're going to come to this back corner. And as you can see, down here, underneath this little box over here, you're going to have your 3rd and final mask on house. So the masks on Orgeon are quite hard in my opinion. This might be one of the hardest maps. The first one is you want to come to junkyard and you see this SWAT van over in this corner over here. You want to angle yourself underneath it and there will be the mask outside is tucked there. Like a very hard angle to see that one. Bit of a needle in a haystack. But the next one is going to be inside the building and you're not going to have to go too far. We're just going to head into small tower right here. This one isn't the worst, but again, it was a bit hard to find. It's actually going to be underneath this toolbox here. Just shoot that. Make sure you get the eye deactivated. Sometimes you have to make sure you get it. I don't know why it's not counting. There we go. So that's the second one there. And then our 3rd one is going to be up in master bedroom. So we're going to head up over this way. Just head up through Y. We'll take a shortcut through this closet. And it's going to be on top of this bookshelf over here. Just make sure you shoot that. Again, there you go. And that is all 3 of the Psycho Bandit masks on Orgeon. Clubhouse is going to be one of the easier ones. You're going to want to spawn by warehouse itself and then come around to this little indent underneath the staircase and you'll find a Psycho mask just under the staircase before you head up. As you can see, garage is right in front of us, which is where we're going to be heading next. So you've got one over there. We're going to be heading into the garage itself. And up in this shelf over here, you will find your 2nd mask. So you can shoot that one. And then we're going to head up all the way through to Lodgy. So we're going to cut through this way. I'm just going to take a shortcut through highway. Go through here. And then just on the other side of this construction wall into Lodgy, in this little bit where people like to play mirror, you can find another mask up there on top of the shelf itself. And those are all 3 of the masks on Clubhouse. For plane, you're going to want to come to the southwest side of the plane itself. And you have this truck over here. What you're going to do is you're going to go prone. And you're going to find one of the masks underneath on the truck right there. So that is one for the outside. We're now going to want to head into the plane itself, where the next 2 are going to be. They are very hidden. Again, this is a very hard map because there's a lot of open space and stuff like that. They could have been hidden anywhere. We want to break into the plane. We're going to want to head over here. And in this cargo hold up here, right at the back, you're going to have a mask. You can shoot that one. Again, a very hidden. That could have just been in any of those overhead storages. This is a very hard map to find all of them. Luckily, though, a lot of people in the community, myself and other people, worked hard to find all of these, and it was a really fun thing. But for the next one, I'm getting a bit lost myself here. There you go. We're going to come to the front of the plane, and it's going to be, I think it's this side, isn't it? In one of these ones. Sorry, it's this side. Sorry, I was looking the wrong way. But in this storage case over here, in this briefcase, there's going to be some debris, but you can see it right there. So it's by the cockpit and everything. You've got this little bed on the right, and it is going to be there. Some debris will cover it, but that is all 3 of the masks for plane. Right, for Consulate, you want to be by the front police line outside the front gate by Riot Barricade is the name of this area outside. You're going to have these crates over here, and it's going to be tucked in the corner just there, hidden inside of those crates. Next, we're going to head over to Visa side and admin side. So We're going to jump straight in this window is where you're going to find your second one. Just a reminder, if you are watching this, this does have to be done in a public game. It cannot be done in a custom game. I'm just showing you that to show you where the masks are. But the next one is over here. If you break that chair, you'll find it tucked in that little corner. This is by like admin and printer and everything. And then our next one is going to be by the yellow staircase. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to jump down spiral and head along printer hallway. Sorry, not printer hallway, benches hallway. You're going to find it here on this double door by yellow, just tucked in this top corner by the plants. And that is all 3 of the masks on Consulate. Right, on bank, when you spawn by the back alleyway, if you just come up to this roof over here by square and everything, and you look up onto these fire escapes, you can find one for the outside. Now, the next 2 are both going to be near the main lobby, so you can actually kind of get these 2 really fast, especially if you spawn in as a defender. You can like shoot these 2 instantly. So the first one is going to be over here in well, its name is typically given Trump office, but it's called front desk. If you break open here, you're going to find one inside this little cabinet. Again, sometimes they're really hard to shoot, so just make sure the light comes off. I actually am having an issue with this one right now, which is quite weird, but there is one there. And the next one is going to be on this speaker over here. And shoot that one. Even if the speaker gets destroyed, the mask is going to still sit there. You can see it with the magnified. So one is there. But yeah, those are all 3 of the ones on bank. Right, for Kanal, you're about to witness one of the hardest outside ones. I don't even know how this one was found. I'm not sure who found this one, but it wasn't me because this one is absolutely insane. You want to come to the roof. You want to look over to the distance here. And as you see, all the way in the distance, there's a psycho mask. All the way over there. Look, 30 meters away from this bit of the roof. Absolutely insane. Props to whoever found that one, because it wasn't me. But yeah, that is probably one of the hardest outside ones. The next one, if you just come into printer, break these files, you'll find it over here. And then the final one is going to be all the way over in archives on top of the shelf. So we'll just head over there and I'll show you this one. So sorry, not on top of the shelf, on top of this vent. It's going to be up there. And those are all 3 of the ones on Kanal. Now, just like Kanal, Chalet is also going to have a really hidden mask outside of the map. You want to come by the sniper's nest, come by this bench over here, and what you're going to see is right on this rock over here, there's going to be a mask right there. It blends in with the environment so well because of the snow, because of the lighting, so that is a really easy one to miss. Next, you're going to want to head inside by the car garage. I think this was one of the first ones I ever found when we were doing the hunt with like Rollo and stuff like that. But it's over here, and in this sink, you're going to find your second one. And then for our third one, we're going to head to the complete opposite side of the map, all the way up into reading. So I'm going to head up here. We're going to head up the blue staircase, all the way to the top. And as we head into library or reading, whatever you want to call it, you're going to find it in this top right corner on this wooden beam. So those are all 3 of the masks on Chalet. Okay, so for Kafe, firstly, what you want to do is head to the roof. So I just went a Maru so we could do this quicker. So we're going to head to the roof real quick. And then we're going to look directly right up here. See it? It's on the side of this building, just by the left of this little structure at the top. Tucked over there. Our next one is actually going to be really close to this one. We're going to drop down the skylight itself. We're going to jump on the desk, if it's going to let us, but maybe we don't actually have to do that. But you're going to see there, it's going to be on the top of that wine rack at the top. And then we're going to jump down here. We're going to head down brown to VIP, where we're going to have our third and final one for Kafe. Just tucked in this corner over here. If you stand over here, you're going to find it tucked. Shoot that, and that is all 3 of the masks on Kafe Dostoyevsky. For Yacht, you're going to want to spawn by this little speedboat, and if you look down here, you can find a mask on this little bit of ice. Next, we're going to make our way into the yacht itself. There is just one around this corner. We're just going to have to break open through this wall. You're going to want to head this way and do an immediate left into the server room, and what you're going to see is these servers in the back. You want to crouch, look straight up. You can shoot that one through those little pipes right there. And then the third and final one is just going to be up this staircase. We're going to head into the kitchen because we have to head into the freezer, which is just over here. And you're going to find some meat over here, and it's going to be hidden right behind that. So those are all 3 of the masks on Yacht. So on Border, the first one is going to be at the west vehicle exit spawn in this car here. It's going to be in the back seat. You can shoot that one. The door will be open, so it'll be pretty obvious where it is. The next one is going to be up in Armory, so I'm just going to head up there now. So we're going to go on rappel around here, just jump through this little bit here. I'm going to break through this wall. And then over in the back corner, we're going to find this little mask hidden over here, just tucked away in that corner by the half wall. And then the final one is going to be by the bathroom tellers area. So I'm just going to break through. Here we are in bathroom. We're going to come through to tellers, and in this little corner, if you destroy this bag, you'll get your third and final mask on border. Favela is another tricky one. You're going to come by schoolyard, this area is called. You'll see like there's little, you know, games and toys and everything. This is at the northwest side of the map. You're going to want to look over to this balcony. You're going to find it tucked away over there in that plant. So just for like context, Christ the Redeemer is here, and then the mask is there. So now we're going to head inside the building, and these next two are literally going to be right beside each other. They did not make the inside ones very hard, thankfully, because of how hard the one on the outside was. But if you come down by yellow staircase, you head into pink apartment. The first one is going to be in this bookshelf over here. Just destroy some of the stuff there. Shoot that one, and genuinely the next one is right around the corner over here, tucked in this corner. Hidden behind that stuff, you can shoot that, and those are all three of the masks on Favela. So for Skyscraper, our first one on the outside is going to be over there, just on this structure. Got the first one on the bottom, number 2 up, you're going to have the mask just chilling on the side there. And then the next two are also going to be very easy ones inside. This might be the most obvious mask in the game, but it is this one over here on this samurai. So you're going to destroy that. That's your first one inside. The next one's just going to be around the corner by the drum room. You're going to come to as left as possible of the drum, and you'll see it tucked in the corner there. And just like that, that is all three of the masks on Skyscraper. Now, Coastline I was really proud of, because I think this was like the first major outside one I found. And you just got to look straight up in ruins. There's going to be up there. I genuinely found that in like less than a minute. I was like, I think that was my personal best. So just up there on the ruin. The next one is going to be in VIP, so I'll make my way through hookah. Just go over here, break down this barricade. Gonna head around, and it's gonna be on the other side of this wall. Swing left, up here. There you go, just in that corner. And then the final one is gonna be downstairs in the kitchen. I'll break through this wall. We're in the kitchen itself. You're gonna have like this pantry wall here. You're gonna have a mask hidden behind some of the stuff on there. So those are all three of the masks on Coastline. Now for theme park, you're going to want to spawn by the main entrance, and you're going to want to look over here, just where this little banner is. Move to the right a little bit, and you're going to see some glowing eyes. That is actually the Psycho Bandit mask for outside, insanely hidden right there. So just for like context, here's the front of the map, and then it's just on this little bit over here. The next one is going to be over at maintenance, so I'm just going to jump around here. I'll show you which window you need to jump into. If you come around here to maintenance, break down this window. Over here, you're going to want to go prone, look straight up, and you have one in this bumper car. Make sure you get those eyes deactivated for it to count. And then the final one on theme park, we're going to head up to office. So I'm going to go up dragon. I'm going to head left at this hallway. I'm going to jump along here. And then inside of this case, we're going to have to destroy it. And you can find the third and final mask inside there. Again, I'm having difficulty destroying these ones inside cases. It like doesn't let me destroy them, but yeah, that is the third one on theme park. Now I think towers masks are a bit unfair, because the one which is outside the map is still outside the map. As you can see, is all the way down here, but you're still kind of inside the building. So I think this one was a bit unfair to find, considering all the other ones have actually been properly outside the map, because I was looking around the roof for ages. But you can shoot that one, so that is classed as our outside the map one. This is beside the memorial after Deimos attacked the tower. The next one is going to be over here in gift shop. So here's like the main hallway by the elevator. Gift shop is going to be just around this corner. You are going to have to break this thing here. You'll find it just hidden in there. And then finally, the next one is also just going to be around this corner. We're going to head to like this archive side of the map. We're going to go into offices. We're going to go into meeting room. And then we're going to go do a straight right into supply room. And you'll find it tucked in this corner, hidden behind some boxes. So those are all three of them on tower. That first one is unfair. Now for villa, they really liked hiding their stuff in objects. The first one is just going to be right beside the well in ruin spawn. You're going to find these two pots. You're going to see it tucked in the corner right there. Pretty easy, especially if you spawn here. You're going to get yourself a freebie on there. The next one is going to be in 90. So I'm just going to head up, rappel in, head around this corner. We're going to head around to 90. You're going to find a table on its side over here. So I'm going to open it up. You're going to find it in there. So that is your second one. And then we're going to head to the basement. So the very bottom floor of Villa. Probably the most underutilized parts of this map. But honestly, I think the basement could do with a bit of change. So what we're going to do is going to head into the art storage. And this one is really silly. You're going to have to destroy these like paintings over here. But they don't even destroy. But it is there. Like you can see it right there. So you can sort of wallbang it and destroy it. But the fact that the paintings don't even destroy make this really unfair to actually find this one, I think. But you see I can punch it a few times. And that's the third and final one on Villa. For Fortress, you're going to have this little area over here as like a drop down. You got your entry point into like the horse area over here. You're going to want to stand on the roof. You're going to look in the distance. And you'll find a mask over there just by my one ping. The next one, which is inside, is going to be really close. And this will help you give you some bearings as well. So you can see we got the hallway over here. You'll have horse and all this stuff. You want to open this. You're going to find your second one tucked in here. And then finally, we're going to want to head down to like the infirmary area. So we're going to go just down this staircase. We're going to want to bank left. I know my layout, trust me. I went the wrong way on purpose. But you want to go down this way, go around this corner, and you're going to find it in this little desk. And that is all three of the masks on Fortress. Right, for Outback, I have absolutely no idea what they were thinking. This one had to be found using match replay because who on God's green earth is going to find the mask in here? You got to climb up this bit, walk up by the gas pumps, look over through this truck window. They can get your mask for the outside of Outback. That's an absolutely insane one, Ubisoft. What were you thinking with that one? But we jump into garage. We can get our next one just over here by the office. When I break open this cabinet, you'll have mask number 2. And then our third and final one is also going to be a really another awkward one because I cannot find the position to shoot this. It's going to be inside the mouth of the shark itself. Like, I'll throw a drone in. There you go. You can see it right in the gut of the shark. Angle it a wee bit here, to be fair. Like, if you do get it from this angle, you can catch it. But I feel like that's such an awkward position. So yeah, it is in the shark's mouth. But man, Outback was a really awkward one. For Emerald Plains, you're going to want to rappel up to the roof just left of the main office window over here. Be on this little pillar stack. You're going to go look at this one over there. And you're going to find your first mask just over there. You got your front entrance spawn. It's going to be on that one. Next, we're going to actually head into the building itself. Break through it over here. We're going to head over to the library or reading room, whatever you want to call it, where you're going to get your next one just up here on the top of the shelf. I actually just shot it through the book there, so the light went off, but it is there at the top right. And then the third and final one is going to be downstairs. We're going to head over to the bathroom. There's like your main reception door. We have the bathroom over here. We're going to want to destroy this one on the left. And there's your third and final mask. There are 2 toilets. Make sure you go on the one on the left. But yeah, here is all 3 of the masks on Emerald Plains. For Stadium Bravo, the first one is actually going to be underneath the map itself. I don't even know if you all know that there is an underneath of the map, but there is. You can head down, come under here. And what you're going to see is there's going to be like a little open sort of vent thing here with like some electrical units. You're going to look left. You're going to see that there. And that is the one for the outside of Stadium Bravo. Next, we're going to head into the building itself. So let me just show you where this is. So we're going to head into like the armory side. If you don't know, Stadium Bravo is a mix of Coastline and Border. So we're going to head into armory, which is based off of the one from Border. And we're going to head into the small office. Look behind this little, I don't know, tablet thing, screen. And there's going to be your second mask. Well, sorry, the second mask, but the first one inside. Again, it's a bit finicky to hit. You can destroy that and then destroy it, but that is it there. And then our third one is going to be by service. Like I'm saying, this is like the coastline part of this map over here. Because you've got like Coastline's kitchen and you have Coastline service. You're going to stand on this desk by service door. Look over the back here. And that'll be your third mask on Stadium Bravo. And see, here we are there. So those are all the masks on Bravo. Okay, so for Nighthaven Labs, the first one is going to be at the park spawn. This is like the main entrance to the lab itself. You're going to see this Nighthaven sort of water feature over there. It looks really cool. I love how this map looks. This is my favorite map in the game. But you're going to want to keep looking at that, but you're going to want to head down a little bit until you can see behind it where you will see the mask just tucked in the back there. It's very awkward to see it. You can see the mask just tucked in there. So that's going to be your one for the outside. Next, we're going to jump over to the kitchen. So let's just jump through this window over here, which will take us into the hallway. We'll head left past lounge. We'll jump into cafeteria, and if you jump over this into the kitchen itself, you're gonna see a pot here. If you go prone, look left, you're gonna see your second mask. Next, we're gonna head over to storage is the name of the room. My brain went a little bit blank there, but let's head for, sorry, not storage, the room on the other side of storage, control room, that's it. So you have storage over here, you've got garage or warehouse over here. If you head into control room, swing the corner, destroy everything over here, you'll find your third and final mask on Nighthaven Labs, just by the warehouse. Right, next up we are on Lair. I think one of the most overhated maps in the game. This map is actually really good, but yeah, people aren't massive on it, but I disagree. But what you want to do is you want to come to the roof. You're going to have like the big open cave. You're going to have like this big antenna. You're going to have this little square bit by this drop. You're going to want to look over here, and you're going to see it on top of this little entrance, because obviously this is the Carries Legion's base. They have a bunch of doors and everything. You're going to find one over there. The next one, I'm just going to head to this drop down over here, because we're going to be heading into the main office. So, and by the mask room, which is Deimos' office. So we go in here, we got the mask room, we got Deimos' desk. You're going to find one inside his drawer. And then the final one is going to be all the way in the basement. Again, I'm just going to take a shortcut to a reception. I'm going to drop this hatch into Toxin. And then we're going to make our way into lockers, where if you come around here and destroy some of the stuff on this desk, you'll see the third mask is going to be inside this desk by lockers. You got warehouse over here. So yeah, here you have it over there. Stop banning Lair. It's a good map. So for Stadium Alpha, you're going to be looking at the direction where the moon is and like the big fire and everything. You'll have a board to the board either side. If you want to be in the direction of the moon, you're going to have these two giant fog lamps either side. This is where like the MVP screen is and everything like that. You want to look at this one to the left. You're going to ADS, and it's going to be right at the back of the stands there. Shoot that, and there it is gone. So use the moon as your bearing for this one, because a lot of this map is a stadium, obviously, so it kind of looks the same. So you got one over there in that corner. Next, we're going to head inside the building itself. So I'll head through this way, because we're going to have one just around the corner here. So if we head into garage, I'll just break in. We're going to make our way around to the piano room, which is just going to be around the corner from here. And see piano room. You're going to want to open, I can't remember which one it is. There's two pianos. It is this one. So you're going to find it in there. So that's the second one. There's two pianos in this room. That is going to be this second one. And then the third and final one, we are going to be heading upstairs. So let me just head to the top. This is like the layout of Orgeon. So you're going to go here. You've got armory, and you have like, this is like old Orgeon's design, pre-rework. You're going to have this little desk inside a master bedroom. Again, you're going to want to break it open. And then you're going to have your third and final mask of this Rainbow Six Siege Borderlands hunt. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video.